Well, first off, in order to learn, you have to understand what you don't know. And most people don't understand that they don't know, and so they're just and that's just what it'll be. You know, it's like a drug addict. The first step to rehab is admitting that you're a drug addict. And so when you have all these internet sensations thinking they know the game of basketball, they would then have to admit that they don't know basketball.
My favorite part about that Draymond fight is that afterward, several people who like to talk about basketball on the internet were like, see, yeah, he wasn't talking about me. He was talking about the rest of you. You heard Draymond's opinion of internet sensations who, quote, know nothing about basketball. Do you agree with Dre's opinion, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. There's some idiots online. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. But, you know, to be fair to most fans, there's some good fans out there, but they also never know the whole story, right? They see what they see out there, and they think they know what they know because of what they're looking at. Usually, that's only a little bit, but what's happening behind the scenes is the big picture.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Draymond was just talking about fans. I think he was talking about talking heads.
There we go.
As well.
Well, the internet ones, not that one, not you.
Well,
the internet ones.
Well, listen, I'll just say this. I encourage, as someone who's crossed swords with Draymond before and highly respects him, I think in this world, especially at this level, I encourage everybody to hold everybody else accountable, whether it's that internet sensations or whether that's players who are going back at media who don't have the whole story. So I encourage accountability. Let's keep it up.
Absolutely. All right, I want to get to our League Pass game of the night. It's a busy Monday, though now only 7 games because of the postponement due to COVID. Our producers not allowed to choose a national game, remember. So they're choosing Raptors-Blazers, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Toronto struggling 2-7 this season, limping toward the end of their 4-game road trip, where they can then go home, where they're also on the road. Portland being helped by the scoring of C.J. McCollum. C.J., man, upped his scoring this year, currently 4th in the league, first in three-pointers made per game. So, Brian, how does C.J.'s scoring leap change the math for the Blazers this season?
This is unusual for a player at this point in his career to have this explosion, so incredible. The Blazers are going to go as far as their defense takes them. That's their huge challenge. It was their huge challenge in the offseason. It remains that way.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. And I just look at the Blazers a lot like the Mavericks. Like, it's like they're just still one piece away from really taking a huge jump. But to see CJ doing this on the same team as Dame Lillard, that is what's really impressive. And I think the more they can work Nurkic into the mix, I think that's going to be big.
I mean, he is in some way your third player. That
yeah, he's really talented. And so if he can really get his game going for them, and he's playing limited minutes right now, I think once he really gets his legs under him, we can see what Portland can become.
And look, I'm curious what happens with the Blazers defensively. They brought in who they brought in this offseason, Robert Covington primarily, to try to help on the defensive end. But they're also instituting a new system, and they're doing it when practices are limited because of coronavirus, coaching opportunities are limited because of coronavirus, and they are sticking with it even through some difficult games, which I think is admirable, and I'm curious to see. And, of course, they're shifting and adjusting it as they go, but I'm curious to see if it ends up paying off for them down the road. All right, guys, this just in at the buzzer. The general managers meeting we referred to at the top of the show has just ended. Brian, what have you heard about what happened?
Yeah, so they had a call today. I don't know if it's officially over yet. I think it's over. They may still be on there, but so there's going to be what they wanted to do is prepare them and the coaches for changes that are going to be coming. The league office believes that they're going to get through this time, that it's going to get better when we get to February. But in the short term, we could see some changes. Among the things that were discussed, I am told, the elimination of shoot-around, the reduction of overall practices, whether it's number or time, more mask wearing, and potentially limitations on people who can be around players, which would have to be collectively bargained, but there are also conversations with the union. As you mentioned earlier, Rachel, one of the things being targeted is guests who may be able to come visit players when they're on the road. Keeping in mind that
Brian,
teams are on the road sometimes 2 and 3 times 2 and 3 days in the same city now because of the block scheduling.
Right now, it is supposed to be 1 to 2 either family members or close, longtime friends.
Right.
I was joking with the guys off the air. I would not want to be the team security officer trying to interrogate a player on when he met this girl on Instagram. Has it been long enough? I don't know. Fizz, that's difficult, right? As coaching. I mean, all jokes aside, it's difficult to monitor for teams.
All of this is just, it's a new world. It really is. And I'll tell you one thing for sure. You will not hear complaints out of players about missing shoot around. You're not going to.
That's true.
Oh, I used to have to drag a lot of guys.
We'll never come back, Coach. We'll never come back.
Yeah, I had to drag a lot of guys into those early morning shoot-arounds on game day. So you won't hear much complaining there. But, again, this is going to be something that we learn how to deal with as we go. So, you know, this is good. I think that the league are putting in these stipulations. They have to put more restrictions in to make sure that everyone's safe because, again, it's not just about the players. It's about who else they can infect and people around them who are more prone to really suffer.
And they're looking at times the players are with each other without masks on. I mean, it's funny with this contact tracing, we're learning kind of who eats dinner together, right? I mean, that's kind of what we're seeing on these blocks of players on a team. Who spends time together without wearing masks?
Clicks.
And that is something that they will look at even further. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.